What do you want?
It's gonna be like The Notebook.
What do you want? It's not that simple.
It really is not that simple. Girl, being pregnant is already hard. I'm not gonna even lie to you. But being pregnant for the first time is even harder because you don't know what to expect. So what do? You scavenge the internet trying to figure out what to expect in pregnancy. Which is why I'm making this video today, because I am in my second pregnancy. And I'll be sharing with you the things that I learned my first time around. So that way you can be prepared as best as you can be, because again, everyone is different. So that you don't have to be afraid. So stay tuned for the rest of the video so you can learn about the things that may be around the corner for you. Well, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chrissy. If you've never seen my face before, I make motherhood, lifestyle, faith-based content. And on today's episode, like I said, we're going to be talking about pregnancy because, girl, I'm pregnant again. And guess what? It's another girl. Am I happy? Absolutely. If you watched my last video, you know I was really, really excited.
Oh my God, it's a girl! Oh, I knew it! What I say? I told you. We're having another girl.
So, what I will share with you are a quick little rundowns of the things that I wish I knew my first time around. Let's start with the first trimester, shall we? Okay. The first trimester was, for me, the worst. And again, a disclaimer, every pregnancy is different. Everyone has a different story. But the general consensus that I was able to find was the same as me. The first trimester was difficult. You probably won't feel anything, the very early symptoms, like maybe 4 to 8 weeks, you probably won't feel anything, the first 4 to 8 weeks. However, for me, I think I started feeling it at 10 weeks, closer to 10 weeks. And it didn't slow down until 17 weeks. Now, what did I experience? Okay. A lot of people say it's in your head, but I don't think it's in your head. I just think it's hormones. Hormones becomes the number one thing that ends up changing your body. So one thing I learned this pregnancy is that you feel the worst in your first trimester because that is before the placenta is actually formed. Now, you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the reason why we feel so nauseous is because the hormones are changing. We don't have the placenta, and that is what causes the nausea. And you know what? It depends on who you are. If you're trying to do like the holistic, no medicine background, no medicine at all, then girl, you're going to have to suffer through it. But if you are someone who doesn't care about stuff like that, and you just care about clean ingredients, you can always find the alternatives to the name brands that I'm going to name right now. So I learned this pregnancy, because the first pregnancy, I suffered through it. But this pregnancy, I learned you can take Pepcid for the heartburn, because you're going to have acid reflux and heartburn. And that's going to be a constant. And it's going to feel like burning. It's going to feel like burning. So the best thing you can do is take Pepcid as directed. I believe it's every 12 hours. And I said it before in my older videos, but I'll say it again. I usually use the cool Pepcid. Like, it has a cool coating, and that gives it that cool feeling, right? So I recommend that one every 12 hours. And in between, you can use Tums. Again, if you are someone who's holistic and just wants to look for clean ingredients, however you want to do that, you can go ahead and do your research and see what you can do in substitution of that. But that's what helped me with my acid reflux, because that's what happens in my first trimester. Second thing that happened was I was nauseous all the time. I didn't know you can take Zofran. So there are options you can talk to your doctor about. Again, talk to your doctor about everything. But there is Zofran you could talk about, and that's supposed to help you with the nausea. I believe that's I want to say it's every 6 hours, but again, just read as directed. There's that one. And then there's another one your doctor could give you that's a little bit of a higher dosage. I forgot the name. I do have it. However, for me, it worked a little bit in the beginning, but you still feel the nausea, but it's not as bad, because I was throwing up constantly. It was terrible. I couldn't keep any food down my first trimester. I couldn't take anything when it came to like anything I was giving myself, right? Whether it was fruits, vegetables, anything of food, protein, it just came back up. But Zofran was able to help me keep it down, but I still felt the feeling. So it's not going to get rid of it 100%. However, it shall help you. And again, everyone's different. The next thing, girl, you're not going to eat in the kitchen. You're not going to be near the kitchen. You're not going to go near the kitchen. It smells, because you know why? Your nose has a smell sensor. Like, it's heightened. It's better than a hound dog smell. And you're going to smell things that your husband's going to look at you and be like,
girl, what are you talking about?
because he's gonna look at you crazy, and that's just how it is. You just smell everything. He's hyper fixated on scents that you would never notice, and that's why you don't want to go into the kitchen, especially like that happened to me. I didn't want to go in the kitchen. However, you also don't want to cook because not only does the smell get to you, but just looking at it, it just makes you want to puke. It makes you want to vomit. You don't want to do it. You don't want to deal with raw meat. You don't want to deal with raw vegetables. Like anything I ate in my first trimester, I regret eating anything that I enjoyed because till this day, I don't want to eat it because it came back up. See, going down is great. Coming back up is terrible. It's terrible, girl. And then for me personally, I couldn't eat again. I still can't eat certain things right now that I ate my first trimester because it just didn't end well for me. Now, that being said, girl, that means you get to eat out a lot. Now, that's bad because if you don't get the budget, that's even harder. But it's also like you get to eat out and you'll eat out everything under the sun in your area, in your Tri-City area, and you'll get sick of it. You'll get sick of it. There's nothing out there that you want, but you don't want to cook. And if you don't got a husband that cooks, baby, he's going to buy you whatever. And it's going to be hard because he's going to say,
what do you want?
It's going to be like The Notebook.
What do you want? It's not that simple.
It really is not that simple. And that is why it is so hard the first trimester. So prepare for that, okay? The next thing that I wasn't prepared for, girl, the hormones. I was crying over nothing. There was this one night I wanted, like, I know this is so Asian of me, South Asian of me, but I was like, oh my gosh, I want chicken tikka masala. Girl, that was at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm in Virginia. Everything closes like by 9:30, and I cried. Because I was like, I just want that. That's all I want. Now, while I'm talking to you, I'm going to put some serum on my hair. But that's all I wanted. And I couldn't get it. And it made me so sad. So I started crying because I'm like, that's all I want. Nothing else sounds good. Nothing else tastes good. Like, it was terrible. That being said, girl, you're going to be crying about the littlest things. You're going to want help. Those are going to be the times that you're going to want your village or you're going to want your partner. Personally, me, I didn't want nobody but my partner or my mom, but my mom wasn't here. So, like, my husband had to take care of me to the best of his ability, and my toddler. And that's another thing. If you're first time pregnant, you get to sleep. Oh, and that's another thing. If you're feeling sick, you can also take Unisom. Again, talk to your doctor. Unisom and B6. I think it's B6, something like that. Talk to your doctor, but you can take that. The thing with Unisom is you can take it pregnant and it'll put you to sleep. I can't do that this time around because I got a toddler. So that unfortunately won't work for me. But if you are in your first pregnancy and you don't have a kid, you sleep your life away, especially if you don't have to deal with work. If you're a stay-at-home mom, just sleep your life away. Or when you come home from work, just take the Unisom, girl. It's the best thing. Next thing that I wish I knew about my first trimester, girl, I wish that I knew that I was not going to like my pets. I despised my pets, and it's called pet aversion. Pet aversion, okay, so it's a real thing. You could Google it, and literally people talk about it all over the place on the internet. You just got to find them on TikTok or whatever you want to use. However, when I was looking at it, I didn't understand. Like, I had this innate, like, get away from me. It was like, I can't stand you. And it's sad because I've had my dogs for a very long time, and I had Bella with me for 11 years. So I'm just like, why do I all of a sudden just despise you? And it's really because your body goes into, like, defense mode against any type of bacteria that's around there that could hurt the fetus, because now your body is protecting a fetus. And that's why your body ends up repelled by them. And it's also like the smell. Girl, you'll smell things and you just think it's disgusting. Even when it comes to them just like doing stuff that you love doing with them, like cuddling stuff, you don't want to cuddle with them. It's just the moments of pregnancy. It'll last most of the majority of the pregnancy. Some people after pregnancy. Personally, for me, the first time, I was afraid that I was just going to tell my husband, like, even after pregnancy, I can't tolerate them no more. But I was able to, and I was able to love them again. However, in my pregnancy, I cannot tolerate them. Some people had the opposite effect. They just never wanted to love their dogs again. That's not my story, and it doesn't have to be yours. So I just say pray on it. So that is pet aversion. I wish I knew. So what I did, because my first pregnancy, my dogs and I and my husband, it was just me and him. And then I was pregnant with my first one. We were in a 2-bedroom house, 1 story. We are all in one area, and it was just terrible because the dogs and their smell, it was just everywhere. I could not get away from it. Now that I'm in this bigger apartment, or it's a townhome, I have 2 stories. I keep them downstairs, and I just give them the whole floor. Like that's theirs. That's their apartment. I don't go down there if I can't handle the smells. My husband cleans it and cleans them out, walks them 3 times a day so I can go downstairs and just enjoy my life a little bit down there. But it took me a long time to even get to that point. I'm in my second stage. So I'm like 20 weeks pregnant now. And that is when I was able to start going downstairs. So don't feel bad if you go through that. You will love them again, I promise. Hopefully. All right, the next thing I wish someone would have told me. See, the first time I was pregnant, once I got into the second trimester, I was fine. Like, I was great. I was gravy. I wasn't feeling no nauseousness. I can drink Coke. I can eat. I was really into donuts. Like, I would eat all the bad, nasty junk food. But every pregnancy is different, girl. And this one is too. See, when I got into this second pregnancy, I can't take caffeine. Caffeine does not agree with me, which sucks. Sucks. So I can't drink soda like I used to. I have to drink like alternatives that will be less abrasive on my stomach. So one thing that I have been talking about like consistently on TikTok, if you guys follow me, if you don't, go ahead and follow me. Currently it's at God's Receptionist. I will be changing that in a month, but I'll explain that later on. But I do talk about what helps me during my pregnancy, and I just, chat about pregnancy, faith, and motherhood. So if you guys want to follow me there, go ahead and do that. But I have been talking about this drink that has been helping me, that is basically trending in the pregnancy community. And it's called the Mermaid Sonic Water, or you could call it loaded water. But what it is, and I think I talked about it in one of my videos earlier, but it's a water from Sonic. I get the soda water, 44-ounce cup. Soda water, 2 pumps of sugar-free peach, sugar-free raspberry, and then real strawberries and real lemon. And that is the only thing my body can actually handle right now. So if you are a girly who can't handle things like caffeine, I would recommend trying that. It really helps. And just try finding alternatives that's going to help you. And if you don't want to be spending all that money, try to find things that you can, like the same ingredients at the store, just as clean as you can, so you can make it at home at an abundance. The next thing I wish someone would have told me, girl, the second trimester, yes, you stop being as nauseous. Like, you don't feel the heartburn as much. You don't feel like the stomach acid reflux as much. However, you do sometimes still throw up. I still throw up, and it's because the food doesn't agree with me. Like this time, like no food agrees with me. Like I can't eat the junk food like I used to, like I said. And sometimes I'll eat pasta and it'll just come, like whatever it is, it just comes back up. But it's not as bad as the first trimester. First trimester, because you don't have the placenta, it was worse feeling. But because now the placenta has been formed, you don't feel it in that way. It's totally different. Like once you experience it, you'll understand what I'm saying. And again, everyone's different in their experiences, but this is happening with me currently and happened to me before. Now, second trimester is going to be considered your bliss. Well, people will tell you to get the pregnancy pillow. Do your shopping, because I have a pregnancy pillow and it's not as comfortable for me. I got the one from Amazon. It was like $40 2 years ago for my first one. Didn't really care for it. So do your research and find out. And some people even take out the stuffing and add their own stuffing. Are you okay? If this is your first pregnancy, that's what you have to look forward to. And they're just amazing. They really are. You're doing great. Come on. Okay. They're really worth it. They really are. And the next thing I wish someone would have told me about my second trimester is that, yes, that will be your bliss. Yes, you will want your pregnancy pillow. Just try to get the right one. You can put goose feathers in there to make it softer. I don't know. Some people have different options, but I would just do your research because it doesn't work for me. I just rather have like multiple different type of pillows, but to each his own. To each his own. The next thing I wish someone would have told me, girl, the third trimester is gonna creep up on you. And it's better than the first trimester because the first trimester, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is just the beginning. How much longer do I have to last? Because that sickness lasted me till 17 weeks, right? Now, once you get into your second trimester, your baby's getting bigger. You're going to pee a lot more. By the third trimester, girl, you're going to pee every 5 minutes because the baby's sitting on your bladder. And another thing is the baby is sitting and is gaining weight, so he's sitting right on your pelvis. And then, girl, I don't even know the term. I'll write it down and I'll put it up here. But there's a term for it. But your back behind is not going to feel comfortable. You're going to feel constipated. Your behind is going to feel like there's something coming out of it sometimes. So you're going to be like, what is that feeling? And it's veins. Like the veins swell up and because of the pressure, and they come down. And the veins, okay, so like in your behind, there are some veins, and because of the pressure, it's basically going to swell up, and it's going to be very, very uncomfortable. Again, I don't know the name for it, but I'll insert the name of what that means, and you can talk to your doctor if it happens. Again, it doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens to some folks. It happened to me only during the pregnancy. After the pregnancy, I was fine. Some people don't get rid of it, but again, I'm not trying to scare you. This is just what you have to just be ready for. Thank you. But you need Prep H, something like that. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna put it in the link below. But that cream helps it because it'll still feel like, it'll feel hot. It'll feel like it's burning. Girl, you don't want that. I don't want this on. Thank you. It'll feel like it's burning. It'll feel like it's uncomfortable. It's just so uncomfortable. And that cooling sensation helps. They also have some wipes that help. I never tried the wipes. I did just try the cream, and that did give me a lot of relief. So I would recommend that. I know there's a lot going on. Come here. I'll put you night-night. Come on. So yeah, girls. So third trimester is not fun because of that. Again, you're gonna start feeling the acid reflux. Then that's when your Tums is your best friend. Girl, I was popping them like candy. I did not care. You won't be able to sleep because you're peeing every 5 minutes. You won't be able to get comfortable, and that's okay. You're going to be going back and forth. Like, you're trying to sleep to the right, sleep to the left. They tell you to sleep on the left because I guess there's some major veins, or maybe it's the right. I don't know. I think it's the left. But there's some major veins that they don't want you to, like, sleep on. Girl, as many pillows as you can. It doesn't matter. If your husband got to go sleep on the couch, just do it. By the last month, you're going to be so uncomfortable. You're going to feel Braxton Hicks. Braxton Hicks are like fake contractions or like false contractions, but it's all in the stomach and it makes you feel like, ugh. So that, honestly, just breathe through it. However, that you'll know when it's a real contraction, okay? I felt it. It was all in the pelvis. It was all in the pelvis, like she was coming out, okay? She was coming out with lightning. It was crazy. But these are my experiences and the things that I wish I knew for my first time being pregnant. So go ahead, take what you will from this information. And then from there, girl, make it your own and try to find something that works for you. I think the best thing that you should remember is that you're going to have a birth plan. And your birth plan is not going to always come out the way you want it to. You have to be okay and flexible with the unexpected. Because, girl, I ended up having a C-section, and I thought I was going to push this baby out. I ended up getting, and I don't want to scare nobody, but I ended up getting a C-section. It was about more than 28 hours after I was already at the hospital. It was a lot. But everything worked out in the end. We were fine. I will share what happened in the labor in a different video, but I just wanted to share most of the stuff of what happens in your pregnancy now because I'm experiencing it. And as I'm experiencing new symptoms or things that I may have forgotten to talk about in this video, I will be bringing that up in the other videos as well. But other than that, girl, these are the things that I wish I knew my first time being pregnant. You're gonna probably despise your husband too. I definitely did because he was able to sleep. He was sleeping like it's nothing. The baby kicking is cute in the second trimester. By the third trimester, you're like... By the third trimester, you're like, excuse me? This is getting wild. Okay, this is really uncomfortable. You need to chill. And that's when you're going to start using your child's full name. Like, you need to calm down in there. It's not a party. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here because I see my little one wants to go to sleep. So I'm not able to share more with you guys, but also let's be real. Let's be real right now. I'm too distracted to even share anything. So I'm going to catch y'all later in another episode. Thanks for sticking around, sis. If any of this has helped you, go ahead and share in the comments. Share with me your experiences and tell me what you're doing to really stay sane during the process. And if you have a toddler and you're pregnant, tell me what you're doing because, girl, I'm trying to survive. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll catch you guys next week on this channel. And also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, girl, I'm going to catch you in another episode.